Alright, so we're going to get this LQ9 ready for going in the truck. And this was a junkyard dropout with 170,000 miles. I just want to tell you guys, you got to watch these dropouts because, I mean, they're generally pretty good, but if you notice right here, they cut the wires to the O2 sensor, which ain't bad. They cut it on the O2 side. It just means we got to replace the O2 sensor. So, but they cut the fuel lines. I mean, not a major big deal. It's just sometimes they create some little problems. I don't think there's any other damage, but we're going to go through this harness anyway and make it to where to work standalone. So it's not a huge deal, but and then we're going to take and we're going to change the factory style mounts. We're going to make these universal mounts work, and they got a plate that bolts to the side of the block, and then this plate will weld to the frame like that right there. When it's all said and done, we'll through bolt through the middle. So, and I think that's going to afford us a little bit more clearance. We had to clearance our factory mounts pretty good for these headers, and would have taken a bit of work to make them strong enough again. So I think these other mounts will work better, but we're going to fit it up and see. But the first thing we're going to do, because I mean we got to change the motor anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get this motor, which is the LQ9. It's a high compression 6-liter, and we're going to clean it up and swap the cam out, put a timing set in it, and then we'll go on with it. But basically, this is what we got. Like I said, it's a junkyard dropout, and there's some issues. It's got some broke, which is a common thing on these LS motors. Broke bolts here. One right here, but it's nothing we can't work out. But the motor is complete. It came with the air conditioning compressor and everything. Of course, they didn't leave us a connection for the compressor here, which would have been nice if they'd clipped it right back here. At least you'd got the end with it, but and we'll make it work. I mean, we're not going to put air conditioning on this truck right off anyways, so it don't really matter, but would have been nice to have just because. But anyhow, so we're going to get this thing stripped down, cleaned up, painted, and put a cam and all in it. So that's where we're at right now. Alright, we got the motor tore, put it down with all the accessories off of it, and got it cleaned up, a little coat of paint on it, and we're sticking the cam in right now. So here we go. Alright, got the timing chain on. I'm going to put the oil pump on next. Alright, there's your oil pump on. And as you see, this motor's clean too. Exceptionally clean on the inside. Got the windage tray back on. Now we're going to put the filler oil pickup on. And there you go. Alright, since again I'm running a cam that don't have the sensor on the rear of the cam, I'm running the LS2 timing cover with the cam sensor on the front, and the cam gear had a sensor on it too. So that's what you got to do. And in that case, when you run a different kind of cam that don't have the sensor in the rear, you got to swap a couple parts over. But and then we got our pan cleaned up and ready to go on. So there you go. Cam swap. I'm going to do the springs and then we'll be done. Alright. I'll flip her over. Put some valve springs on, put the balancer on, and the rest of it.